Hello there, good buddies. So what comes in a box? Oh, this is very well packed, if I must say. We've got a breather pipe and window, a bag of bits we can talk about in a moment, a template, a directional nozzle and jet nozzle, and the jet drive body and impeller stroke propeller. Very controversial subject. Okay, so let's have it looking like a little bit something. That goes on there, and the breather pipe goes on there. The dimensions of the jet drive, what you will need on the inside of your boat, is going to be 120 millimeters lengthwise, that's 120. Widthwise is 44 millimeters, but you can take a little bit of that landing edge off, maybe a millimeter either side. And the height requirement, we can modify and just take a couple of millimeters off the top of this ring here and get the height down to about 44 millimeters again. Same dimension as the width. Okay. The template that arrives with it, if you cut it out, it should look like, oh, something like that. Okay, and what you do is just make sure that it lines up with the inner edge on the jet drive, and that should give you your first cut on the outside of your hull. You mark up on the outside of your hull and you'll get your first cut line. Okay, so what comes in the bag? There's 6 screws, that's 2 spare screws. There's a 2.5 millimeter drill. There's also a hex key, Allen key, and a spare grub screw for the sleeve on the thrust bearing. There's also some waterproofing sealant there, and if you put a small bead around the inside of there, that will keep the water from getting out and the air. It's resealable, it's reusable, and there's about three amounts there, so it should last for a lifetime. To drain any excess water out after a run, you just disconnect it at this point, tip the boat on its side, and anything will just drop out the end. It's very low maintenance, there's no need for greasing the prop shaft, so once this viewing window's on, unless you've snapped a propeller or something, it shouldn't have to come off. Okay, breaking the boat in, you really want to run it, you don't want to be running it on 6 cell as soon as you get it, as fast as you can. What you want to do is break it in slightly. The prop shaft is very closely cast to the body, and about 5 minutes run time on a moderate speed, making sure things aren't seizing up, and everything should end up quite free running and broken in. Putting the motor in and lining it up, I would probably want to do it on 3 cell so that you don't generate too much heat when you're trying to align the motor with the jet drive impeller shaft stroke propeller. And that's about it, my very good friends. I can't think of anything else. Thank you very much for your time. Happy boating and have a wonderful evening. Cheers. Toodaloo.